This week was supposed to be about training, but from day 15 to day 21, the plan changed completely. No Peloton sessions, no strength work, no running, no comeback workout. Instead, this became the recovery week. And honestly, that is not the most exciting thing to film. There is no dramatic training montage when the right decision is to rest. There is no heroic finish when the body is still fighting something. But this is part of the process too. Day 15 started with a number I had not seen yet in this project. 69,070 kilo in the morning, below 70 kilo. Normally, that would feel like a milestone. But this was not a victory lap. I still had a fever of 38 degrees 6 in the evening, so sports stayed off the plan. Food was simple: fitness muesli with blueberries, skimmed milk and chia seeds, steak tartare for lunch, and cottage cheese for dinner. 2 liters of liquid, 2 large coffees, and no training. The scale moved, but the body was not ready. Day 16 was very similar. The morning weight was 69,060 kgs, the lowest number so far at that point. By evening, it was back to 70,050 kgs, which is exactly why I do not want to overreact to one weigh-in. The fever was still there in the morning, again around 38 hours degrees. So there was no sport. Breakfast stayed the same: fitness muesli, blueberries, skimmed milk and chia seeds. Lunch was a minced meat pocket. Dinner was cottage cheese chocolate mousse, 2 liters of liquid, 3 large coffees, and another full rest day. At this point, the message was clear. I was not quitting, I was recovering. Day 17 made that even more obvious. Morning weight, 69,080 gazs, evening weight, 70,030 klar. The food stayed simple again: muesli in the morning, a minced meat pocket for lunch, a banana in the afternoon, and cottage cheese chocolate mousse for dinner. But the important part was not the food, or even the weight. The important part was accepting that I would rest for at least the next 5 days. That is frustrating when you are trying to build momentum. When you start a project like this, you want the story to be neat. You want every day to be a small step forward. A workout, a better meal, a stronger body, a cleaner routine. But real life does not move like that. Sometimes progress is not adding more effort. Sometimes progress is knowing when effort would be stupid. Day 18 was another no-sport day. The morning weight was 69,060 kgs, and by evening it was exactly 70,000 kilos. Food was lighter: fitness muesli, a simple Caesar salad, and tomatoes with low-fat mozzarella. 2 liters of liquid, 1 large coffee. Still not well, at least 4 more days of rest. And this is where the week started to feel mentally harder. The first rest day is easy to explain. The second one still feels sensible. But after several days, you start wondering if you are losing momentum. You start thinking about the fitness you are not building, the workouts you are not doing, the routine that is sitting there waiting. But recovery is not empty time. Recovery is the work when the body needs it. Day 19 was probably the most boring day of the week on paper, and maybe that is why it matters. Morning weight, 6930 klan. Evening weight, 6980 klan. No sport again. I was still not well, and the plan was to rest for at least 3 more days. Food was very simple: muesli in the morning, 1 egg for lunch because it was too hot, and cottage cheese for dinner. 2 liters of liquid, 1 large coffee. Not exciting, but consistent, and maybe that is the point. Not every day of a fitness project looks like fitness. Some days look like drinking enough water, eating something simple, tracking the data, and not making the problem worse. Day 20 brought the lowest morning weight so far, 68,080 kgs. That number looks strong on screen. It catches attention. It is the kind of number that could easily be used as a big transformation moment. But again, no victory lap. By evening, I was 6980 kilos. I had fitness muesli for breakfast, sushi for lunch, apricots as a snack, and cottage cheese for dinner. I drank 3 liters of liquid and had 2 large coffees. Still no sport because I was still not well. This is where I have to be honest with myself. Weight loss during illness is not the same as fitness gained through training. Yes, the number moved. But the goal of this project is not just to weigh less. The goal is to get fit again, to lose fat in a sustainable way, to rebuild strength, to return to running, to feel capable again, and none of that comes from pushing through when the body is asking for recovery. Day 21 closed the week. Morning weight 69,10 kg, evening weight 69,70 kilos. Food was real life again. Fitness muesli, potato salad with knackwurst, apricots and cottage cheese, 3 liters of liquid, 3 large coffees, and no sport. The comeback was paused, but it was not cancelled. That sentence sums up the whole week. From day 15 to day 21, I did not train once, but I did keep tracking. I kept the routine visible. I kept the project alive. I did not turn a bad week into an excuse to disappear. The weight moved from around 69,070 kilos in the morning on day 15 to 69,010 kilograms on day 21, with the lowest point at 68,080 kilos on day 20. But the more important trend was the decision-making. I did not chase the scale. I did not force a workout. I did not pretend recovery was failure. This week taught me something useful. Consistency is not always about doing more. Sometimes consistency is staying connected to the goal while doing less. It is easy to be disciplined when everything feels good. It is harder when the plan gets interrupted. But those interrupted weeks are part of the real story. So week 3 was not a training week. It was a patience week, a recovery week, a do not make it worse week. And that still counts. The next step is simple. Recover properly first, then come back carefully. Not with ego, not with punishment, and not by trying to make up for lost time in one session. The goal is still the same. Get fit again, lose fat, build visible abs, return to running. But this week the smartest move was to wait. Day 15 to day 21 complete. The comeback is paused, not cancelled.